Rivalry week this, guys. Big time game this Sunday. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, this absolute trash team that came out this season and laid a huge dump all over the league. Terrible team. Andy Dalton throwing nothing but a bunch of picks. Remember last year when he was an MVP candidate? The man came out and showed he's not the red goddamn rocket. He's the red piece of trash. That's what the hell he is. AJ Green, yeah, I tore my hamstring. Now he wants to show back up and talk about he wants to play this week because it's the big rivalry game. I don't care if he's on the field. I don't care if he's off the field. His production will be zero. Mr. Tyler Eifert, I injured my foot in the Pro Bowl. You are the only player in the last, I believe, 10 years to get hurt in the Pro Bowl. This man wants to have a good week last week against Cleveland. Gonna show up and think you're gonna play against Pittsburgh and have a good day. Not gonna happen. This defense, absolute terrible defense. This Cincinnati defense can't stop anybody. You can stop the Browns, but damn Alabama college football team can stop the Browns. My mom and father can line up on defense and stop Terrell Pryor. Well, not really Terrell Pryor, but they can stop and sack whatever quarterback they line up. If it's Robert Griffin III, if it's Cody Kessler, if it's goddamn Tim Couch, if it's that McCown guy who done played for about 37 different teams in the NFL. It doesn't matter who lines up. Anybody can beat the Cleveland Browns. So I'm not impressed by the Cincinnati Bengals. Vontaze Burfict, let me tell you something. Last two times we done played against the Cincinnati Bengals and Vontaze Burfict happened to be on the field, Le'Veon Bell got hurt, Antonio Brown got hurt. I used to play football. I'm not some person who calls for injuries, but if Vontaze Burfict gets carted off the field, I'm smiling, fam. Because you're a dirty player, you got to learn what it feels like to be hurt on the doggone field. Let me tell you something about this Cincinnati offensive line. They are absolute trash. Top 5 most allowed sacks in the league. Let me tell you something. Last 3 weeks of football, guess who's number 2 in sacks per game? That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Bud Dupree, Stephon Tuitt, James Harrison, Ryan Shazier, Arthur Motes, I expect you all to blitz several times into the backfield and hit Andy Dalton. Understand, they're playing at home, so they're going to be wearing those black jerseys with that nice Bengal stripe that they got on the side. I want all of their jerseys to be green. Matter of fact, not all of them, because if the offensive line jerseys are green, that's not good for us. They're going to call a whole lot of illegal hands to the face. They're going to call some defensive holding. I don't want to deal with none of that. I want Andy Dalton's whole jersey to be green. By the end of the day, I want people to think he plays for the New York Jets. I want him to be on the floor, Mr. Adam Jones. Last week, you had a whole lot to say about Terrell Pryor. You like to call him garbage. You had this whole bunch of jokes talking, oh, you're 0-13, you shouldn't be talking, which I agree with. He shouldn't be talking. But you want to call somebody garbage. Let me tell you something. You guys can't stop Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown completely decimates your defense. So you know what I expect to see this week? Mind you, Julio Jones, he didn't play last week. So Antonio Brown's approximately, I believe, about 150 yards away from being the number 1 receiver in the league dealing with receiving yards. He's only 1 behind in touchdowns. I expect him to have the triple crown before the year's over. So I expect Antonio Brown to go all the way out there to Cincinnati, hop on the X slot receiver, run out there, catch about 10 balls for 3 touchdowns and over 150 yards. I want him to destroy your defense. Le'Veon Bell missed 300 all-purpose yards last week in Buffalo. I expect you to go off another game over 150 plus yards. And Big Ben, 3 interceptions in the cold. Understand, Cincinnati, it don't snow like that. I expect you to put up decent numbers. I want to see Jesse James with the ball in his hand. I want to see Ladarius Green with the ball in his hands. I want to see Kobe Hamilton with the ball in his hands. It doesn't matter who you got to get the ball to. Eli Rogers. I expect a high completion rate from you, Mr. Big Ben Roethlisberger. Mike Tomlin, we are not losing to the Bengals. Understand something. They are not playing spoiler on our season. We are rolling into the playoffs on a 7-game win streak. We already won 4. We got 3 more to go. We're not losing this game. All right? We are not losing this game. This is big time game right now. And understand, Baltimore already done lost. We are in sole custody of number 1, first place in the AFC North. We are not losing to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Sunday's big time game, man. Everybody watching the game got to be hyped. I'm going to be somewhere in the house drinking a whole bunch of whiskey, jumping up, getting hyped for the game. And every time the damn Steelers scored a touchdown, I'm going to climax in a Bengals face. All right? That's how I feel about this Sunday. This is a big time game, man. Get your game face on. We got to go out and win. 5 in a row. I probably shouldn't have hit my chest that hard. I might need some Cialis. No, Cialis is Viagra or something like that. What they call it, Claritin PE, something for heartburn. I don't know what the fuck it is. Whatever the case may be. I'm not going to beat my chest. But this is a big time win. Let's get this W.